What if I told you one of the fastest rising streamers on Twitch wasn't a lifelong content creator, a gaming prodigy, or even somebody who planned on becoming famous? Instead, he was a former basketball player from Sweden who found himself struggling to survive in America before suddenly becoming one of the most recognizable faces in streaming. This is the weird rise of Marlon. Before Twitch, before viral clips, and before millions of followers, Marlon's life revolved around basketball. Born in Malmö, Sweden, Marlon was considered one of the country's top young basketball prospects. Standing around 6'5", he had the size, athleticism, and talent to pursue the sport seriously. Eventually, that talent earned him an opportunity to move to the United States and play college basketball. At the time, becoming a streamer wasn't even part of the plan. The goal was basketball. But like a lot of athletes, things don't go exactly as planned. This is where the story starts getting strange. After his basketball career stalled, Marlon found himself in New York City with very little stability. According to multiple accounts, he experienced periods of homelessness while trying to figure out what his next move would be. Instead of returning home and giving up on his dream of making it in America, he stayed and kept looking for opportunities. Most future streamers start from a bedroom. Marlon was starting from a survival mode, and that struggle will become a major part of his appeal later on. People weren't just watching a creator, they were watching somebody actively trying to build a life. In January 2024, Marlon started streaming on Twitch. At first, there wasn't much reason to think he'd become one of the platform's biggest rising stars. The streaming world was already crowded. Thousands of creators were fighting for attention every day. But Marlon had something different. He looked more like a model or athlete than a traditional streamer. His content wasn't heavily edited. His personality felt raw and unpredictable. And because he lived through genuine struggles, viewers felt like they were watching somebody with a real story. Instead of sitting behind a screen all day, Marlon leaned heavily on IRL content and collaborations. That decision would change everything. One of the biggest reasons for Marlon's growth was his ability to connect with other creators. As streaming shifted away from gaming and toward personality-driven content, collaborations became the fastest way to grow, and Marlon understood that better than most. He started appearing around bigger creators and eventually became closely associated with members of FaZe Clan. Suddenly, people who had never heard of Marlon were seeing him everywhere. Streams, TikTok clips, YouTube highlights, IRL content, his audience exploded. And unlike many creators who go viral from a single moment, Marlon kept stacking audiences on top of old ones. But the rise wasn't exactly smooth. In many ways, controversy became part of Marlon's brand. Over the years, clips, allegations, and online drama repeatedly put him at the center of internet discussions. Marlon has publicly addressed some controversies and admitted certain past comments were wrong while responding to criticism. Whether people loved them or hated them, they were talking about it. And in modern streaming, attention often translates directly into growth. That's part of what makes his rise so unusual. The same moments that could have ended others' careers often became fuel for more discussion around Marlon. By 2025 and 2026, Marlon's reach has gone far beyond Twitch. He appeared in fashion events, built massive audiences across social media, and expanded into mainstream entertainment opportunities. What started as a guy live streaming his life had turned into a full-blown internet celebrity career. He even appeared on the Netflix series Inside, introducing him to the audiences who didn't follow streaming at all. At that point, Marlon wasn't just a Twitch streamer anymore. He was becoming a mainstream influencer. Just when it looked like he had already reached his peak, another major chapter began. In 2026, Marlon joined fellow creators including Stable Ronaldo, Jason Owen, Lacey, Adapt, and Silky in the content group known as the Core Boys. The group immediately generated massive attention. Fans loved the chemistry, clips spread everywhere, and Marlon's audience continued growing. For somebody who had started streaming only a couple years earlier, the speed of the rise was almost unbelievable. The weirdest part about Marlon's story isn't the fame. It's how unlikely all of it was. A basketball player from Sweden, homeless in America, starting a Twitch channel with no guarantee of success, then somehow becoming one of the fastest rising names in streaming. Whether you're a fan or a critic, it's hard to deny that Marlon's journey is one of the most unexpected success stories on the internet. And with his audience still growing, the strangest chapter of his story might still be ahead. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, is Marlon the future of iOS streaming, or is his rise one of the most unpredictable stories we've seen online? Thank you.